What's up, everybody? I'm Eric Hanson with Backpacking TV. Today we have a brand new, very special episode because I have a special guest, Mr. Dan Becker. I've been backpacking with Dan for the last 4 or 5 days, getting to camp with him, see his setup, see how he does all of his life. All of his life.
Every bit of it.
Every dang bit of his life. And I thought that it would be interesting to see, dive into his kit and see what he has that I've been surprised by a few things. So I wanted to dive into that. And also, Dan here, he has an opportunity to assess my get up here and critique it.
I've been very surprised as well.
Bash on it.
I would never
make
do that.
fun of me. Oh, you could. It's okay.
Making fun of him is very easy to do.
Yeah. So let's get into it. We're gonna check out Dan's stuff, and then he is going to rip into me. So let's go for it. First of all, Dan, what are you backpacking with over here?
Let's see. I've got if anybody wants to know about the tent, this is a brand new tent by Mountain Hardware. This is the Mountain Hardware Strato 2-person tent. First time using it. Mixed feelings. I think it's great. It's a semi-freestanding tent. Just a little bit of work to set it up. It's a lot going on to set it up. But I do like it. It made it through 3 storms now. So didn't leak. Great. What I really like about it most is you can fit 2 25-inch wide pads inside of it. So that's cool.
So I have a very similar tent with the Tiger Wall from Big Agnes, which I really like, but I do kind of jealous of that 2 25-inch pad idea. But so Dan here, he's got a Mystery Ranch backpack, which is actually not his proprietary backpack. So that's going to be different for him because I convinced him to try one of mine.
Yeah, and I like it. I really do.
Yeah. But inside, so Dan has, first of all, can you pull this out for me? Just tell me about your bags at all, because I actually almost never do this.
Well, I was burned pretty bad by a rainstorm, and this December where everything wetted out, and I had to bail out on a trip because I was going to get hypothermia from all my wet gear. Anyway, so I bought this. This is a Dyneema pack liner from Ultralight, which works great. So that goes in my bag first, and then everything I don't want to get wet goes inside of this.
So I have typically been backpacking with just some dry bags, and then I'll do dry bag with like a dry bag for my sleeping bag maybe, and then a dry bag for my clothes. But I do really like that this just becomes like the inner chamber of a backpack, and really nice way to do it. Look at this. Dan Becker has his own, he sells a line of these. Actually, somebody just printed them and sent them to him. But I'm so jealous of this thing. I want just one of these with my face on.
Yeah, shout out to Hilltop Packs.
Love your coffee mug.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Big mug
That's
for a big guy.
Big mug, big guy.
Yeah.
So a couple of the other things. So number one, I think the thing that I'm surprised that Dan does is just his water setup. So I want to dive into how Dan does water, because down here we have a couple of smart water bottles and the Katadyn Be Free system. We have already come across a couple of small trickly water sources where Dan's just scooping up water with a little cup to fill. Were these dirty water?
Everything here is actually dirty water. None of this is clean water. So
Okay.
So these these have been on a few trips.
Yeah.
I fill up all of these with dirty water, and then this is just a bladder, sort of a bladder that I can also fill up with dirty water, and then screw the filter on, and then just go ahead and drink out of it like a water bottle. So essentially, I'm constantly pouring dirty water into this as I go, and then drinking out of this. So
so I've used the Be Free system before and really liked it. However, it hasn't necessarily crossed my mind to just carry dirty water with me and then filter the clean water as I go. So I actually really like this. And these smart water bottles are a light way to transport good amount of water, lighter than an Nalgene bottle for sure. And then they can kind of compress and pack as they're empty. So that's a cool way to do that. So that's, I think, the number one. I'll go backwards in time. The number two is the Cordura bags that he has for all of his setup. There's one more item that was really just mind blowing to me.
We can break into that for sure. So I've started packing up a little bit here, but
Dan's an early riser, and he got going ahead of me to get on the trail here.
Early packer. Oh, look at this.
Look
at that. I got another
one of those.
Another one of those. This is
I'm so jealous of that.
So the backpack I usually bring, it has very little organization to it. So this is my ditty bag. All of my ditties go in this bag. So I kind of I lose things a lot.
Yeah.
And so if I don't know where something is at, I always know it's in my ditty bag.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of ditties in here. But I think what you're wanting to see.
Yeah, there's one thing that truly was like the revolutionary. Blew my mind that this product even existed. Let's unveil it here.
Yeah, so this is a 3-ounce air pump by a company called Flextail Gear. This is the Tiny Pump X. And essentially it comes with a ton of different attachments to fit pretty much any sleeping pad that you have. And then I think you double click it. Let's see. Yep.
What?
See if you can blow the hair. There you go. And then also, if you hold it down, you've got 3 levels of lighting, and it goes up to 400 lumens. And it's USB-C rechargeable. And this has blown up my pad 3 times, and your pad once, I think.
Yeah.
And it's still got juice in it.
Single charge.
Yeah, one single charge. So
it's pretty dang cool. I actually was playing around with it at camp the other night and was using this as my light source.
Yeah.
And hung it in my tent, and it was super cool. I have not used it to blow up my own personal mattress yet, but I am very curious about that because I just think that's so cool. And nobody likes getting into camp after a long day on the trail, and then you have to huff and puff for the next 20 minutes to get your air mattress ready for you. So those are 3 things. It's been really cool to backpack with Dan because we all just kind of have our own ways of doing things, and we come from different backgrounds of backpacking. So that means that we obviously have learned from different mentors and tutors. That's a really cool way. And okay, number 4, the fact that he drinks a full liter of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, this is actually my 2nd liter.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I mean, out the gate, he's using one of my favorite tents of all time. This is probably my favorite tent of all time. This is
the Tiger Wall Ultralight 2-person tent from Big Agnes. This has been updated from their system that I think you used. The main difference just being its construction. So I do appreciate that this was made with a greater rigorous environmental standard. So I appreciate that. But it's just a great tent. Been using it now for a couple of months. Slept probably a couple of different rainstorms in it, and she's been a beaut. So definitely love that.
For sure.
So inside, also from Big Agnes, I've got the Torchlight. It's a 20-degree ultralight bag, which I've really liked. But I think the main thing that you might be curious about is what's going on underneath there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am surprised. This man does not sleep with a sleeping pad.
No, I swore them off years ago. Actually, we did a stopover the previous night, and I stayed in my van, and which meant that I unpacked some stuff, and then may have forgotten to repack my sleeping mattress.
But what is that one pad you have under there? That looks real nice.
Oh,
what is this?
Oh
my goodness! Look at that!
May have robbed this from my new best friend Dan Becker.
Totally true.
Also, I did rob this. But look, this is actually a very expensive sleeping mat because I have a Arc'teryx rain jacket under there. I've got an ultra lightweight shirt. I've got my outdoor research backup shirt. I've got some underwear. I've got a dry bag under here.
Oh my goodness.
All the things combined make a really nice sleeping mat. So if you ever forget your sleeping mattress, you can just lay out a bunch of your crap and just sleep on top of it.
Love it.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, then I've got my. This is how I've mostly done my water. So, Platypus water bag, Bladder, followed by my Grail.
Yeah, that's
water
what I
filter.
wanted to ask you about, because this was super unique to me. So, like he said, I'm used to doing water a certain way, and I like the way I do it because it works for me. I've never personally been a huge fan of bladders, although I do see the benefit of it, having to be able to walk and just, use it on the go. And I never have to ask. You probably never have to ask people, hey, can you get my water bottle for me?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of nice. So tell me what you're doing here.
So what I have been doing, I'll just fill this up, and this carries 2 liters, and then this is my 3rd liter. This is my Grail water filter, and I have been kind of in love with this system for a long time. So what I do is I will scoop up the dirty water with this outer cup. This is the inner plunger, and I will plunge it through, kind of let my air release go here. Now there's obviously no water that I'm filtering right now at the moment, but then this inner chamber will fill with clean water.
That's super cool. And that acts as your water bottle,
And
right?
then now I've just got a water bottle to drink
Okay.
from.
See, that's
like so.
That's very cool. And now, okay, does this filter? Somebody was saying this filters viruses too.
It does.
Oh, that's super cool.
So it actually has a really robust filter in here. So it can filter all your typical bacteria and protozoa that you come across in most streams and water sources here in North America. But also if you do any international travel, it's great because there's often viruses in those water sources internationally. And this allows you to just be unconcerned. I've backpacked all over Papua New Guinea, South America, and a bunch of different places, and literally never had one problem. Just was scooping water all day.
Wow.
The other thing that I love is that if you do international travel, it replaces your water bottles, just plastic water that you have to, buy bottled water to be safe. You can just fill up from all of your hotel rooms and stuff like that. And
That's
I
super cool.
really appreciate that.
I want to ask you about one other thing.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so he let me try on his backpack.
Yeah.
Which I'm not normally used to a backpack that is as organized as his, which is very organized.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I couldn't believe how comfortable it was.
So I don't really have a whole lot going on in here right now. Here, let's come back down. This is the Mystery Ranch Bridger 55. It is a new backpack from them. So this is actually my first real full trip backpacking with them. But I do really like this backpack a lot. I think you've got a lot of your standard features. You've got this big way to get open.
See, that's cool.
Which
that's
I really,
super cool.
really like.
And it's almost like the luggage bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can get to anything you want.
Yeah. So that's something I really like, because I often backpack with camera equipment. 20 pounds of
85
camera.
pounds, I think it is, right?
So just being able to get in and out of my backpack and get my camera gear with this big opening here, I really, really like this for it's just got trail mix in there right now, but this is where I hold my sleeping bag. And if any of you out there know that if you got a little bit of an oversized sleeping bag, stuffing it in here can be a challenge, and then it often stresses these zippers out. But you can compress it in here. You've got this extra slack in here to zip this up, and then here's where the main compression comes from, and then you don't stress out your zippers, which I really, really love. And then the other
this is what was so cool. This
thing,
favorite part for sure.
Is so you got your nice hip belt here. That's pretty standard, but you have a double chest strap, sternum strap. I was skeptical when I first opened this up and got this, but I really like this a lot. It is super comfortable. It really spreads out a lot of the pressure that typically just lies on your shoulders, and has a great way of spreading it out through your whole rib cage.
Yeah.
And my pack stays with me really, really nicely. I can undo these if I'm feeling like I want to change in the pressure. I can cinch them up real tight, and the pack just really moves with me in a way that I've never experienced before with a backpack. So I really think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then your typical lid that has quite a bit of storage capabilities. So I've got my map, I've got my snacks, You know, you can separate my ditties, little chargers, toilet paper, toothpaste, you know, stuff like that. And my snacks, and this is also detachable, so I can go for a little day hike.
Oh, you got a day pack, nice.
Yeah, so I can just throw these buckles on, make it a fanny pack, and detach that with just a couple of clips, which is handy. So one of the things that I also found is that I could treat this as a bear bag. So I could detach it and fill this with my food at night, hang this up in a tree, and not worry about having a bunch of food in my backpack that was then gonna attract critters.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Do you hang your food? How does that work for you? Depends on where you're going.
It definitely depends on where I'm backpacking, but yeah, if I'm backpacking here in South Dakota, I think it's a good idea to get stuff up in the trees. Typically in the desert, my biggest concerns are rodents, not bears. And so I do want it at least 3 or 4 feet off the ground. There, bear country, much higher, probably strung between 2 trees.
So this is your bear bag, essentially.
This would be my bear bag. Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about your food system.
Do you have anything else that you want to add about my stuff, or you feel like you berated me pretty good?
I think I got you pretty good. If I keep going, I don't want you to be upset.
Yeah. No, Dan's been very accommodating. He's really been helping me psychologically battle through a lot of things here. This actually was a bit of a humbling experience. You know, I'm backpacking with the great Dan Becker, and I left my sleeping mattress at home. So that was very embarrassing. But he's a good guy. Look at that. He's what can I say? So anyway, that is Dan's setup. That's my setup. Dan, thank you for taking the time to walk through this with me and share your setup. I really, I'm going to take a few of the things that you do and incorporate that into my system there.
Vice versa, for sure.
Cool. Well, make sure that you check out Dan's stuff. He's Dan Becker Outdoors on the YouTubes. You've probably, if you pay attention to me, there's a good chance that you've been watching his videos for a long time. So do you have any, if anybody who doesn't know Dan, do you have any videos that you're like, this is the one I want you to watch first?
Oh, I mean, the video, if anybody's ever seen it, it's a video called I Quit, and it was why I quit ultralight backpacking.
Okay.
That is my most popular video. So
okay.
if you don't know me, you've probably seen me there.
Well, there you go. We're going to have a link to that video so you can check out the quintessential Dan Becker film. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching this video here. We've got all sorts of stuff from our adventures here in South Dakota. Make sure that you're checking us out. And hopefully you like us. Hopefully you're already subscribed. But if not, make sure you hit those buttons for us. And I'm Eric Hanson. This is Dan Becker. We'll see you later.